friends. How are you today? My name is Miss Sally, and I have a story for you today. This story is called Little Brave Sammy, and it's about a little boy named Brave Sammy, and his mother's name was Brave Mommy, and his daddy's name was Brave Daddy. Now, Brave Mommy loved little Brave Sammy so much that she made for him a beautiful little red jacket and a pair of beautiful little blue trousers. Now, trousers is just a fancy word for pants. And Brave Daddy loved him so much that he went to the bazaar and bought for him a beautiful green umbrella to keep the hot sun off of his back, and a beautiful pair of purple shoes with crimson soles and crimson linings. Crimson is just a fancy way of saying bright red. Now, one day when Brave Daddy had gone to the bazaar to look for a big cooking pot for Brave Mommy, little Brave Sammy said to his mom, "Brave Mommy, may I please go for a walk in the jungle?" For you see, they lived in India. And Brave Mommy said, "Yes, you may, but beware of the tigers." Little Brave Sammy said, "Oh, I will be very careful of the tigers." So there he was in the jungle, and he's walking along and walking along and walking along. And by, along comes a tiger. And that tiger said to him, "Ho, ho, 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 I'm gonna eat you up." Little Brave Sammy said, "Please, Mr. Tiger, please don't eat me up. If you don't eat me up, I'll give you my beautiful little red jacket that my mother made for me." The tiger said, "I am a tiger. What will I do with a red jacket?" And little Brave Sammy was very smart. He was almost as smart as you, and he thought very quickly, and he said, "Well, you could wear it, and then you would look like the grandest tiger." The tiger said, "Very well. Give me your little beautiful red jacket, and I shall not eat you today." So little Brave Sammy helped him put that bright red jacket on, and that tiger looked at himself, and he thought, "Oh, now I'm the grandest tiger in the jungle," and he walked away very proudly. Well, little Brave Sammy was walking along and walking along and walking along, and by, along came another tiger. And that tiger said to him, "Ho, ho, 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 I'm gonna eat you up." Little Brave Sammy said, "Please, Mr. Tiger, please don't eat me up. If you don't eat me up, I'll give you my beautiful green umbrella to keep the hot sun off of your back that my Brave Daddy got for me at the bazaar." The tiger said, "I have no hands with which to carry your umbrella. Your umbrella is of no use to me." Little Brave Sammy was very smart. He was almost as smart as you, and he thought very quickly, and he said, "I could tie it to the end of your tail, and you could carry it that way. Why, then you would look so grand." The tiger said, "Very well. Give me your beautiful little green umbrella, and I shall not eat you today." So little Brave Sammy tied that umbrella onto the end of his tail. Now, he thought so, but he didn't say so, that tiger looked mighty ridiculous with an umbrella waving around on the end of his tail. But that tiger looked up and saw that umbrella, and he said, "Oh, now I am the grandest tiger in the jungle." And he walked away very proudly. Well, little Brave Sammy was pretty sad. So he started to walk home, and he was walking along and walking along and walking along. And by, guess what? You guessed it. Another tiger came. And you know what that tiger said, don't you? "Ho, ho, 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 I'm gonna eat you up." Little Brave Sammy said, "Please, Mr. Tiger, please don't eat me up. If you don't eat me up, I'll give you my beautiful purple shoes with crimson soles and crimson linings." And that tiger said, "I have 4 feet. You have only 2 shoes. You have not enough shoes for me." Little Brave Sammy was very smart. He was almost as smart as you, and he thought very quickly. And he said, "Well, we could put them on your ears. Oh my, you would look so grand." So the tiger said, "Very well. Give me your beautiful little purple shoes with crimson soles and crimson linings, and I shall not eat you today." So little Brave Sammy put those shoes on that tiger's ears. Now, little brave Sammy thought so, but he didn't say so. That tiger looked mighty ridiculous with shoes on his ears. But that tiger found a puddle of water, looked at his reflection and said, "Oh, now I am the grandest tiger in the jungle," and he walked away very proudly. Well, little brave Sammy was still on his way home, and he was walking along and walking along and walking along, and by, you guessed it, along came another tiger. And that tiger said, "Ho, ho, 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 I'm gonna eat you up." Little brave Sammy said, "Please, Mr. Tiger, please don't eat me up. If you don't eat me up, I'll give you my beautiful little blue trousers that my mother made for me." The tiger said, "Very well. Give me your beautiful little blue trousers, and I shall not eat you today." So little brave Sammy helped him put those trousers on, and he said, "Well, you do look pretty grand." He thought, but he didn't say that tiger looked mighty ridiculous with those blue trousers on. But of course you don't tell the tiger that. And that tiger looked at himself and he said, "Oh, now I am the grandest tiger in the jungle." And he walked away very proudly. Well, there was little brave Sammy standing in the jungle wearing nothing but his underwear. He was very sad and he started to go home. He was getting closer and closer to home and he was crying. But then he heard something. He heard a very loud ruckus. He heard those tigers growling and snarling. And at first, he got scared. He thought those tigers were on their way to come back and eat him after all. But then he looked over and he saw all of his beautiful things just thrown on the ground. And as he got closer to that sound and closer to all of his things, he hid behind his umbrella and he looked. He saw over there all 4 of those tigers were all growling and snarling at each other, each one saying, "I'm the grandest tiger. No, I'm the grandest tiger. No, I'm the grandest tiger. No, I'm the grandest tiger." They were all fighting, and they were just fighting so much they didn't even notice little brave Sammy. So little brave Sammy quickly put all of his things back on, and he began to watch those tigers. And they were fighting and snarling, and pretty soon they found themselves in a circle around a tree. And each tiger had a hold of the tail of the tiger in front of him. And they were all in a big circle around the tree. And they began running around that tree, faster and faster, growling and snarling, faster. Pretty soon, Sammy couldn't even see their feet anymore. They were running so fast. And they went faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And pretty soon, they just melted away. And at the bottom of the tree, there was nothing left but a big pool of tiger butter. Little brave Sammy was very happy not to have been eaten and to get all of his beautiful things back. And he put everything back on, grabbed his umbrella, and he ran home to tell brave Mommy everything that had happened. Well, it just so happened that brave Daddy was on his way home, passing right by that tree. And he had on his big, beautiful brass pot that he had just bought for brave Mommy. And he saw underneath that tree all of this beautiful tiger butter. So he said to himself, "Oh, brave Mommy is surely be able to make something delicious with all of this tiger butter." So he took the pot down and he scooped everything up into it, put it back on his shoulder, and carried it home. And when he got home, brave Mommy was very happy to see it, and the pot and the tiger butter. And she said, "Oh, I know what I'll make with that butter. I'm going to make some tiger pancakes." Oh, and she was so hungry from making all of those pancakes that she ate 4 pancakes. Brave Daddy was so hungry from carrying home all that tiger butter that he ate 7 pancakes. But little brave Sammy was the hungriest of all, and he ate 14 pancakes. Oh, he was so full. Oh, and they lived happily ever after. I hope you liked my story today. I sure had fun telling it to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.